In this video, I will talk about how to use cutting planes in InVision. First, I will need to open the 3D graphical user interface of my model. This will bring the 3D Edit toolset as well as the cutting planes. I will click on this arrow under the cutting planes ribbon to bring up its drop-down menu. Here, I will show you how to use all the different settings. First is Create, or the default feature, referring to the tool selected whenever you click on the ribbon individually. What that means is that instead of selecting the Create a Cutting Plane tool in the drop-down menu, I can click on the cutting plane ribbon here to access it. What the Create tool allows me to do is create a cutting plane on any surface of my model. To use it, I will bring my cursor on top of the model until this red arrow appears. This is the normal vector of the plane, or the vector that is perpendicular to the plane you want to place. If I were to move my cursor around the model, the arrow will follow and try to be perpendicular to that surface. To place the cutting plane, I can just click on any surface. There are a few things that I can do now that the plane is placed. First, I can drag the plane linearly by clicking on the inside area of the plane, and while holding down my left mouse button, drag the plane left and right like so. I can also rotate the plane if I drag its edges. Note that as I transform these planes, measurements are displayed next to the green line indicators for both linear and rotation movements. If I want to get rid of a plane, I can right-click and press Delete. Now I'll go back to the Cutting Plane ribbon drop-down menu again and select the cutting planes X, Y, and Z. These allow me to create a cutting plane along a certain axis. So I will select the Create Cutting Plane X, and when I move my cursor to the model, the red pointer from before will always be facing the X plane. I can click to place the plane anywhere. It is also important to know that you can place multiple planes on a model. I will use the Y and Z planes to demonstrate it. So I will go back and select the Y cutting plane and click here. And I will go back one more time, select the Z cutting plane, and click here. There are two more ways to edit this cut even further. Let's say that the part I'm looking at is actually a volume that I wanted to cut from my model. For this, I can use the Union Mode tool. I will click on its ribbon up here, and that seems to bring the model back to default. But if I were to turn the model around, the part that was cut out from earlier is not there anymore. This is what the Union Mode does. It allows you to cut out certain parts of your model to further describe components. Another tool that can be very useful is the Flip tool. To use it, you will need to select one of the planes of the model, and if I click on the Flip tool, the cutting plane reverses its order of removal, so it reverses the cut to the other side of the plane. The last cutting plane option is the cutting plane using 3 points. This allows you to select 3 independent points on your model and create a plane that crosses all 3 points at the same time. I will select the tool and click 3 times on my model like so. After the third selection, the plane will be created based on those 3 point locations on the model. Note that exiting the 3D graphical user interface will not display the cutting planes, but if I wanted to hide a plane in the graphical user interface, I can do so in the 3D properties pane. Let me go back to 3D edit mode, and I will select this plane for example. When I do so, the 3D properties bar will show a few options. Here, I can change its color, whether it should cut in the model, its visibility, and its opacity. To hide the model, I can check the visibility checkbox or turn the opacity to 0. These will hide the cutting plane, and I will no longer be able to select it in the same way. The only way to bring it back is by going into the assembly tree, scrolling all the way down to cutting planes, and selecting it here. In the next video, I will talk about the View toolsets.